it's Lady Boulay, and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your thumbs up, for your comments, and thank you for sharing the videos. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. And yes, we are commanded to love one another, whether we want to or not, or whether we agree with each other or not. I just came across this article and I thought it was interesting. Goofy guards Army convoy on Texas border shows Trump's MAGA movement is just one long con. And I've been reporting on this God's Army, and now this article is saying that it's a con. So let's get into it and see what they're saying. It's time for non-brainwashed Americans and the media at large to accept something. Former President Donald Trump's MAGA movement is a tissue paper tiger. This was on vivid display in Texas over the weekend. A much ballyhooed convoy of MAGA patriots descended on a town near the southern border, ostensibly to protect America from what right-wing politicians like Governor Greg Abbott cynically, dangerously, and falsely call an invasion. Well, this guy didn't bite his tongue in letting us know how he really felt. The God's Army convoy was supposed to be a mighty force of 700,000 or more people from every corner of America. It wound up being maybe a couple hundred vehicles parked at a rural ranch in Guamado, Texas. Basically a Trump rally without a Trump, but with plenty of hucksters selling MAGA merch and grifting the easily grifted. MAGA was promised a Texas border invasion, but it wasn't there. Some actually visited the border in nearby Eagle Pass, Texas, and were surprised to not witness the invasion they had been promised. Convoy goer Misty Gregory told MSNBC, "It's not what I expected, but then again, I don't know what I expected. I can tell you it's not as bad as what I thought." So that's kind of eye-opening in itself. Well, yes, it is eye-opening if they're telling everybody that there's this big invasion down at the border, and then you get down there and it's just a big hillbilly party where they're selling MAGA hats and probably drinking beer and partying and pretending that they're doing something important. Abbott and about a dozen other pro-razor-wire GOP governors were in Eagle Pass on Sunday, hollering and whatnot. Some residents said the recent invasion of Trump supporters from the convoy had been downright scary, and I bet that's true. We are constantly being told that we're being invaded, and that never felt true until today when the convoy came to town in anticipation of the governor's event, Jesse L. Fuentes told WOAI NBC News Channel 4. This is political theater by outsiders. The reality is that it has brought dangerous, violent groups into our beautiful, peaceful city. Eagle Pass is safer than most cities in America if you look at crime statistics. This is just a fact. We don't appreciate these staged events that dramatically misrepresent our reality on the border and that invite extremist groups that pose a real danger to people in our community. Now, this is what's eye-opening, because they're telling us, people who live there are saying there is no crisis. Now, I don't have any way of knowing how much of what this person says is true, but these people that are coming up on these buses going into New York and Chicago and other places, that's real. That problem is real. In Texas, the MAGA movement again reveals its impotence. So God's Army's foot soldiers came in underwhelming numbers and accomplished little beyond showing everyone how tragically gullible they are and making the locals twitchy. That's MAGA in a nutshell: loud, threatening, and, in the end, impotent. Well, I never had much confidence in that convoy because it reminds me too much of the KKK. And they do a lot of talk. But when it's time to fight, they start looking around for the police and anybody else that'll fight. But they are full of hot air. Trump won the presidency in 2016, and he hasn't won a thing since. He's the face of this supposedly forceful political movement, but the movement mirrors its creator, a loudmouth con artist who overpromises and rarely delivers a thing. The wall. Mexico paying for the wall. The border crisis fixed. Nope, nope, nope. I think it's safe to say that this man is not a fan of Donald Trump or his movement. The God's Army convoy, like all things MAGA, was a grift. MAGA is and always has been a con to line the pockets of Trump and others who saw a swath of Americans waiting to be fleeced. The fact that our border is not now lined with big, strong, gun-toting patriots willing to defend America at all costs is not surprising. I'm not surprised that they're not down there itching for a fight. They like to talk. They don't really like to fight. MAGA says we are coming by the hundreds of thousands. Then MAGA delivers a crowd that resembles a small county fair on a slow day, populated by a mix of conspiracy theorists, angry xenophobes, and slightly befuddled hangers-on who didn't get what they were promised. It was a big disappointment because I never thought 700,000 white people were going to go down to that Texas border, fooling with that crowd that couldn't shoot straight. Bipartisan border bill shows actual attempt to address crisis. On Sunday in Washington, D.C., a bipartisan Senate bill to address the border crisis was released. It's a serious piece of legislation that includes about $20 billion in border funds. It deserves strong consideration, but the Trump loyalists in the House have already declared it dead on arrival, so the Republicans in the House of Representatives are going to vote no on the bill. So that lets us know that the Republicans in the House of Representatives are not serious about fixing the border problem. So this article is just pointing out that this so-called God's Army is not a serious movement, and neither is MAGA. It's a grift. It's a way for Donald Trump to get people all pumped up and excited about him being president again and sending him money. It is not a serious movement, and I don't know how serious Donald Trump is. I think he would love to go back to the White House, because when he goes to the White House, he doesn't have to pay any bills. And people don't have to worry about how much money he has. Because if he had that much money, he wouldn't want to be the president of the United States. Because they don't make that much money. I think they make $400,000 a year. That's a lot of money for people who don't have any money. But that's not a lot of money for a billionaire. It's just not. But this person has really slammed Trump and his movement. Okay, y'all, so anyway, let me know what you think about the video. Thank you for listening. Subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, share the video, and as always, have a great day.